Right, so we're going to do a little bit of period chat here. Now, I've been a bit back and forth on this because I think it can be a really sensitive subject, and mainly because everybody's different. So I don't want to say something that is insensitive and that every woman should be doing this and you should be able to train through your period and you should be doing and this is what I do, therefore you should. I don't like that attitude. However, I think it's really important that there is this conversation, and also that more women actually understand what's going on with them and optimizing their own cycle. So first and foremost, we are all different with the types of periods we have, the cycle length, the pain, the heaviness, the fatigue, all of the symptoms that go alongside your cycle, our cycles. Every woman is different. But I'm speaking from a little bit of experience here because as somebody that has endometriosis, very painful, very heavy periods, I've got a little bit of experience with kind of trying to figure some of this stuff out and still making your health and fitness work for you despite what's going on. The key takeaway is you need to understand you. And I think so many women don't. And then there's different information available online, and certain people sort of saying you need to do this, and this, and at certain points in your cycle you'll be experiencing this, and this, and you should train like this and eat like this. And I don't think that's particularly helpful either. I think we can get some guidance from that, but I don't think that's particularly helpful. But I also think being totally ignorant to what's going on with you also isn't helpful. And then using your period as an excuse for making poor decisions and not training for half the month and shoveling chocolate down your neck every chance you get because you don't actually know what's going on or understand yourself. So if you can understand or start to understand how you present day to day, and therefore at different stages in your cycle, you can start to create some rough structure for yourself. And what I mean by that is, like for me, as somebody that has pretty brutal periods, if I manage my pain during day 1, day 2, I can still have productive training sessions. I can feel quite good training if I stick to lower rep ranges and don't try and like fully max out. But I can go pretty heavy and feel good for it if I manage my pain. The last thing I want to be doing on day 1 or day 2 is high volume, 15 plus reps, because my body temperature is through the roof. And more than anything, I have zero tolerance to any level of discomfort beyond what's already going on. So I just avoid that. I just won't do high volume training on those days. And I tried it way back when, I tried doing things like that, and I just got really annoyed. So this is the thing, is why put yourself through something when you can just adapt it for what feels good at the time. And I think we should be doing this generally, not that every time we go in the gym we just go with how we feel and we should be adapting everything to how we feel. But if you're not feeling 100%, if you're under the weather, if you've got niggles, aches, pains, you should be looking at your training and adapting accordingly. And that is key, specifically around your cycle, if you find certain things are more beneficial. The other thing that I really notice, sort of 4 days before, the drop in my strength is significant. So like last month, I was trying to do barbell incline bench, and the week before I'd had a really good session and was sort of smashing it, and I came to do a lesser weight as a bit of a warm-up. I was like, yeah, a few days away from my period, and it was an absolute shit show. I just couldn't, I just didn't have the strength. It just dropped off a cliff. And I also, again, had the same lack of patience for that. Very easy to get frustrated at myself. So whilst I don't go in thinking I'm not going to try and lift heavy during these days, I have this awareness of like, see how you feel. Because what I also don't like is I always feel like this on this, so I always do this. It's like, well, you still got to go with how you feel, because cycle to cycle, it can still vary. But if I know at the back of my head, I'm like, okay, well, you know, you're a few days before, see how you feel, and don't beat yourself up if you're not going to get the strength metrics that you want. That's the attitude that I go in with. This is what you can adapt to if you need to. So it's understanding where your trickiest points are. And this will vary person to person. Like I say, for me, it's those few days before, and obviously day 1, day 2 for a different reason. For you, it might be that your whole however many days of your period is the worst, or you know, you might be fine then, it might be a week before, it might be mid-cycle, everybody's different. So figure out what your tricky points are and plan for them. So another key thing, like the week before, I get very snacky and a little uncontrollable around chocolate. Do I deny myself? No, absolutely not. But what I also try and do is still give myself some nutrition that I know is going to nourish me and make me feel better. So it's not like I won't eat anything that's bad. I'll just, you know, try and kid myself that eating an apple is going to do the same thing. It's not that at all. It's just I don't want to turn it into a week-long binge just because that's what I think my body's craving. I'll give it something that it's asking for, but I also give it the nourishment it needs. And that involves a bit of forward planning. And I see this sometimes with women, is it's like, oh, during my period, oh, I'm like this, oh, I'm too tired, oh, I could be bothered because it's my period. And that's fine, I get that. But if you know that happens because you understand your body and your cycle, plan for it. Have some stuff ready in the freezer that you can shove in the oven or put in a pan or whatever that is going to give you what you need, so that you're not just using it as an excuse to writing that week off. Because here's the thing, when you have a goal, if you're writing off the week before and the week of because those are 2 bad weeks for you, well, you're losing 2 weeks a month. It's going to be really hard to make progress if you're losing 2 weeks a month. So do what you can, take some of the pressure off yourself, but do what you can in terms of preparing, knowing what you're like and what you need, so that you can still make the decisions and still make progress around that time. I love making things like, I'll do batches of like Thai green curry that's really comforting, that I can just warm up, get out of the freezer and then warm up. It's like nutritious, it's got loads of veg in there, but it also feels quite decadent. I make a lot of steak around that time as well, if it's quick to do, steak and potatoes and veggies. That way you're not being reactive to what's going on. And like I say, sort of constantly making excuses for poor choices that you might make. You can understand why you might make those choices, but what can you do that's a bit of damage control? So it's not just a 2-week binge on chocolate. It might be that you need more rest around that time. You might really struggle to do your training sessions. Rather than getting there and then just thinking, oh, I'll just sack it all off, pre-plan for it. That in certain times you might take your training volume right down. You might drop your sessions from 4 a week to 2 a week or something like that. You have things ready that you know you can do if you need to. And this is what I say to my clients all the time, is we can adapt as to what works for you without, one, you just excusing the whole time or feeling like a failure for not getting it done. Because everybody is different. And for some people, the pain, the fatigue, the heaviness, whatever it is, might make it unbearable to do things. Other people, absolutely fine. You might run marathons and have no problem. But it's about understanding you, and that's what the key takeaway here is figuring out what you need as a general rule and how to cater for that throughout the month. Another one, like ovulation, we're supposed to be feeling great, that's when we're looking our best, that's when, all those things. And actually I can get a lot of pain around ovulation, and my weight goes up around ovulation, and I feel more bloated around ovulation. So it's over time that I'm like, it's even how you view yourself and how you might, whether you weigh yourself at those times, if you're doing those things. This is what I speak to my clients about, is there's certain times when we might do things differently because of how something presents, but then also how we think about it and how we think about ourselves. To put you in the best place possible, we want to understand you, your cycle, and how to do things most effectively for you. Hope this helps. Let me know. Comment below, drop me a message on Instagram if this resonates, or if you're going to start implementing something different or thinking about this differently, and I'll see you in the next video.